You're listening to the Zone Coverage Football Show, where opinions, passion, and pride are always on the line. Live from Tees Towers, here's your host, Mark Tees.
Hello, and welcome along to the Zone Coverage Football Show. It's Sunday, the 2nd of November, 2014. I do believe this is episode number 14 of the show. I do hope everyone as well, wherever you are, and thanks again for tuning in to the Zone Coverage Football Show. Yeah, live back in good old Tees Towers after my adventures in Wembley last week. And I have to say again, just at the top of the show, get this out to a massive shout out to Tom from Huddle Magazine for sorting that out and giving me that sneak peek behind the curtain. It was definitely an experience of a lifetime. And while I'm on the subject of Wembley, I want to give a special shout out to Steve Owens. There I was at Wembley last week, just sat there, sort of watching the game. Guy comes up in a Seahawks jersey. He's like, "Are you Mark?" I'm like, "Yeah." Just thinking, oh God, what have I done? Who have I offended? Because I did let loose a little bit on the show last week. And it's like, "Yeah, I'm Steve, listen to your show." And lots of praise. And I just sort of sat there in stunned silence, in fairness. So, Steve, sort of apologies. I was overwhelmed. First time anything like that sort of happened to me. And sir, thank you for coming up to me and saying hi. It was much appreciated and totally overwhelming, as you probably figured out. That's Wembley out the way. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping and get this show rolling. We have a bumper-packed show, back to the full 90 minutes this week. And fingers crossed, I am not too close to the microphone this week. So if I am, tweet at me. That is Zone Coverage FS on good old Twitter. Facebook as well, you can find us on there. Listening live. Hopefully you're doing that now via the TuneIn app and the Spreaker app. I've mentioned a few times with the Spreaker app, there is like a little chat room on there, so you can sort of message me as we go if you like, or just, as I've mentioned already, Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. Failing that, if you can't listen live, you can do, what can you do? I mean, mine's gone blank. You can listen back via Stitcher and iTunes. Again, subscribe, ratings, any sort of feedback, anytime. Feel free to just get in touch. And like I say, if Twitter's not enough and no messages and all that, just hit me up. You can do that via email. That is zonecoveragefootballshow@mail.com. Right then, what have we got coming up for you today? Right, we got the hot route. I'll give you the number for the show in a moment. So if you want to ring, get ready to stand by your phones and ring in. What else do we have? Fantasy Advice returns this week. So the guys from @Dundee NFL, you've still got time. Get your questions regarding your fantasy lineups today over to them. So that's @Dundee NFL, and of course the Fourth Down and Out podcast that they air weekly there. So please go and check that out. So I do believe Simon's coming on the show around about 5 o'clock for the Fantasy 5 at 5 segment. Also, what do we have? I'm going to look over the news of the last 7 days. The Love Line feature's going to return. I got a couple of guys for that. Fan versus fan segment. We have Thomas, Richie, and Charlie Andrews. They're on Broncos fan. Tom's the Broncos fan, and Charlie is the Patriots fan. They square off on Sky the late game tonight, around about 9:25. So we got those two guys coming on around about 4:30ish today. So again, round up your various affiliations and get tweeting into the show as we go. We have the Not So Great 8 feature as well, and if you are a new listener, the Not So Great 8 feature is sort of like what they call now power rankings. You know your power rankings, 32 to the top. You're all familiar with that format. I flip it on the head. The Not So Great 8, the team who I feel, from what I've seen, is the worst in the division and propping up the division. And yeah, spoiler alert, those of you that don't know, long-time suffering Jets fan, they remain bottom, and rightly so. I cannot see that changing for the foreseeable future. So that is the Not So Great 8. I'll run through the fixtures as well, tell you who's on the TV, what time, and all that sort of stuff. If we get a chance, we'll have a look at the standings. I've got quite a few mentions at the end of the show as well I want to get through. So with that, right then, I do feel it's time we get into the hot route. So here we go.
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any win. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out.
Right then, there's good old Herm Edwards having a little bit of a rant there. So the question of the day, sort of hot route today, is sort of like surprises. I'm sort of going off what's jumped out at you now. What, we're 9 weeks into the season, quarterback struggling, Jay Cutler. I don't know, have we been waiting for Jay Cutler's breakout season for what seems like all eternity? Tom Brady had his struggles at the beginning of the season, obviously turned it around now. Geno Smith's been, Geno Smith. Drew Brees, I feel he escaped quite a lot of criticism. He didn't really turn up till last week against the Packers. Also, at the beginning of the year, if I'd mentioned that Austin Pettis, Zach Mettenberger, Colt McCoy would have started more games than a certain Johnny Football, you would have thought I was insane. Also, the head coaches, Jim Caldwell has won the same amount of games, 6, that 3 fallow head coaches have won. Well, same amount really. Jay Gruden, Lovie Smith, Ken Wisenhunt. Gruden's got 3 wins, Wiz 2, and Lovie 1. That again, I did not see that coming. The Colts and the Cowboys defenses, where have they come from? Did not see that. Also, a few running backs that have struggled. Doug Martin, Alf Morris, Toby Gerhardt, pretty much no factors on the season so far. So I guess today's hot route really is, what shocked you the most, good or bad, through the first 8 weeks? And there's also this thing regarding injuries that Gary Jordan at Gaz, where's his Twitter handle? I'll find that Twitter handle in a minute. Gary Jordan messaged me before the show regarding Tony Romo. Should he play today, and will that be up for debate? The Cowboys probably taking the wise decision, in fairness, and rested him this week. So it's Weed and Power. So that's going to be quite entertaining today. And then there's the return of RG3 as well. And I'm seeing a lot of reports that RG3 appears to have lost the locker room. There's a lot of ill feeling and nonsense coming out the dressing room there. So again, just hit me up. Zone Coverage FS on Twitter. If you want to call in, be live on the show with me today, the number is as follows: 0161 818 4593. That is 0161 818 4593. Excuse me. And you can also hit me up on Skype. That is Teesmister, T-E-E-C-E Mister, Teesmister, T-E-E-C-E Mister. Have a quick look on Twitter as we go forward. Marty, the fellow regular, good old Marty, Toontime 88. Please give him a follow, great guy. He does say the mic spacing perfect today, mate. So appreciate that, Marty, and thanks again for tuning in there. So right then, that is that out of the way. Let's delve into the news. If I can find my sounder now, where's that gone? Here we go. NFL news. Right then, Bears Lamar Houston is out for the season with a torn ACL. Another idiot celebrating a sack, torn ACL. Yeah, I don't really know what to say on that. Michael Vick has been named the starter for the Jets game today against the Chiefs. We won't get into that today. Also, another QB named starter for the rest of the season. Mike Glennon is to remain the starter for the Bucs for the remainder of the season. Lions' Nick Farley is set to miss a month with a sprained MCL/PCL. The Chargers, they have released cornerback Richard Marshall. He was torched by the Broncos, Emmanuel Sanders, in the Thursday night game the other week. And now he's gone. No coincidences there. The Rams have lost their most potent weapon on offense, which is quite a bizarre statement because Brian Quick has hardly set the league on fire. He's probably been the one shining light in their absolutely injury-ravaged, shambolic season that they're experiencing. So yeah, Brian Quick is out for the season with a torn rotary cuff and dislocated shoulder. That's nasty. The Rams, Jake Long, also done for the year, torn ACL. As I've mentioned, the Rams line is just absolutely decimated. And Champ Bailey announced his retirement on Tuesday after 15 years. His career included 12 Pro Bowl appearances and 207 starts. I do believe he latched on with the Saints, got through training camp, and he get paid $500,000, chopped to the wayside. So I'm surprised no one's picked him up, in fairness. A team struggling for cornerbacks? Look no further than mine. Sorry, team. So yeah, Champ Bailey, a credit to just players in the NFL in general. He's been a true pro throughout his career, 12 Pro Bowls. What more can you say about that? Future Hall of Famer? Most definitely. And then we had the trade deadline. That happened on, when was that now? Tuesday. The Bucs traded linebacker Jonathan Casillo to the Pats for a 5th and 6th round pick in next year's draft. And they also traded starting safety Mark Barron. And that Mark Barron was the 7th overall pick in the 2012 draft. He's gone to the Rams for the 4th and a 6th. And to make way for Mark Barron joining the Rams, they waived quarterback Case Keenum. I think I did miss one out there. Yeah. Sorry, Cowboys linebacker Justin Durant, he's also out for the season. He tore his bicep in a Monday night defeat to the Redskins. Cracking game that was, by the way. I did enjoy that one. I'm sure Cowboys fans might have a different opinion on that than myself. If you do, then just hit me up on the show. Zone Coverage FS on Twitter. The number again, 0161 818 4593. Right then, back to the news. Where was I? The Panthers made a few moves on Tuesday, putting linebacker Chase Blackburn on IR, and then with the free roster spot, they picked up offensive tackle Mike Remus, who was released by the Rams the other week. They then promoted safety Robert Lester from the practice squad and waived running back Darren Reeves. The Cincinnati Bengals, Vontaze Burfict, is out for a few weeks. He had his knee scopes, I believe that was on Wednesday. And the Redskins, this is bizarre injury of the year. I think it happened, what is it? It might have been last season. Was it Nate Burleson was going around the corner and it was a pizza incident where he reached and tried to stop a pizza sliding off his chair. And I think he did he break his arm? Something like that, if memory serves me correct. And yeah, so cornerback D'Angelo Hall seems to have topped that. He's retorn his Achilles whilst getting pizza in the kitchen. I've yet to hear any more on this story, in fairness. So, what has he done? Has he slipped over on the pizza? What's that? How do you tear an Achilles whilst getting pizza? Tearing an Achilles, in fairness, is pretty damn difficult, I would imagine, to do. For the average person, never mind an athlete that's in the prime. So, that should have been the hot route. What food groups have you been reaching for and injured yourself? You know what? Let's have some fun with that. On Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. Have you been reaching for something at the back of the shelf and the tin of beans has hit you on the head? Come on, let's just roll with it. It's just set up perfectly for me. So I do believe that's all I got for the news. I had a quick look round this morning beyond the obvious. Tony Romo not starting and Brandon Weed in there. Tom from Huddle Magazine, at Huddle Magazine, give them a follow. They will be on the show around about 5:20, something like that. So Tom's going to be updating you with the latest news that's happened today, any sort of players that are starting or being rested, and so forth, and any sort of shenanigans. So right then, the number again, 0161 818 4593, with the hot route being, what have sort of been your surprises, shocks, standouts, what didn't you see coming, or did you predict a slide and you want to just gloat? Then feel free to do that. And also, what food groups have hit you in the face, stubbed you on the toe, whilst you've been reaching for them in your kitchen? I reckon that could be quite an entertaining segment. To check in on Twitter, see what's happening there. That is Zone Coverage FS. Will Davies, Will's the regular, a top fella. Please give him a follow. It's not only a hat. Is that a hat rack? Yeah, not only a hat rack on Twitter. I always struggle with that Twitter handle. He says, great to have you back in the usual pre-kickoff time slot. And, well, it's great to have the tweets from you, sir. I'm much appreciated. Right then, so Twitter is quiet today. Very, very quiet. So let's sort of delve in. What have I got next? Love Line or Not So Great 8? Whoa, it's a toss-up here. Let's go with the not-so-great 8. I fancy a bit of controversy. We've got 15 minutes till we hit with the... what's that segment that I do now? The fan versus fan. Oh, brain and gear. Right then, here we go. As I said, top of the show, if you're new, I keep saying this every week, where have you been? 14 episodes in now. This is your pre-show warm-up as we head towards the 6 o'clock kickoffs. And time has been corrected. America put their clocks back last night, so we are back to the 6 o'clock kickoffs. Right then, the not-so-great 8 is basically power rankings flipped on the head in the bizarre, weird, stupid way that I do things. As I'm sure that regular listeners can testify to that statement. So yeah, I go through. There's 8 divisions. The team that I've watched the majority of the games, not every single snap. I've had highlights here and there. Obviously, I'm a bit of a sadist. I like to touch myself with a certain team from New York area every week, so that sort of does take precedent. But yeah, the rest of the league, I've got a good snippet I've got a good sample size, is what I'm trying to say, to cast my I wouldn't say, it's not even an expert eye. My eye is a fan. I'm just a fan like you guys, just offering up a platform. So no expertise here, no wisdom, no massively. You're not going to listen and go, wow, that was mind-blowing insight. But it's just generally good fun and shenanigans, one does hope. So anyway, on to the not-so-great 8. I am spewing out some nonsense today, by the way. Right then, we will start with the AFC East. And as I did mention earlier, no real shocker here. The Jets have held this spot for the last 3 times that I've rolled this feature out. And you know what's more troubling? Not only the fact that we've got one bad quarterback, is now we have 2 really bad quarterbacks. Pick your poison, Gino or Vic. Oh, we will not. Don't get me started on that one. So that is the AFC East. Jets prop them up. They are a complete garbage dump, whatever. That's as polite as I can put this on the show. On to the AFC West. Like the East, no change here. The misery continues for the Raiders fans, even with good old Tony in charge there. But Raiders fans, unlike the Jets, I feel that you can keep the faith. You've actually got a decent quarterback in the making there. I believe in what's his name now? Derek Carr. Looking forward to seeing his continued development going forward. So I know you've not won and all that, and I can't remember the last time you won. It spans back into the back end of last season, maybe beyond. It's been that long that I've completely forgot. So I do feel your misery, but fingers crossed that the future's bright there and that pans out for you. On then into the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They held this spot for pretty much all eternity, in fairness. And I can't read what I've put there. That was a classy transition, my end. Oh yeah, there we go, yeah. Finally, this awesome defence that they raved about prior to the season kickoff, it started to emerge last few weeks, and those of you travelling to Wembley next week will get a chance to see that firsthand. It started to turn up. It really has. So for me, last few weeks, since the last time I did these rankings, I've seen hope and light from the Jaguars. And I'm not doing this to curry favour with my pal Tom at Huddle Magazine. But yeah, the Jags, they move off the bottom. And who do I replace the Jags with? And the AFC South. Again, this is a no-brainer. The Tennessee Titans. What a mess. I know there's an ongoing joke, if you are familiar with the Around the NFL podcast, that do the Titans sort of exist and stuff. But the quarterback slot here is a mess. Clipboard Jesus, he's been in. Get this one. Why does Clipboard Jesus, how is he allowed to rock his hair, his flowing locks and stuff like that? But Zach Mettenberger was supposedly said, right, son, shape up, get your hair cut, trim your beard, basically sort your muck out because you're starting the rest of the way. Jake Locker is more brittle than Michael Vick, and that is a bold statement in itself. So I don't get that. As why hasn't Mettenberger gone, no, this is the way I am. How I wear my hair or how scruffy my beard is, how does that affect my play? I don't know. Are they trying to make him a poster boy, more appealing to the fans or something like that? I find that very odd, and that annoys me, in fairness. Why has he had to do that? I don't get what difference that makes. I could understand if he was like Des Bryant going back. He was a bit of an idiot off the field, and he got like a chaperone going round various places. They were keeping tabs on him. Desi's then sorted his life out, and he's now unbelievable. He was good anyway, but now he's just amazing. There's not enough positive words to describe how good a player Des Bryant is. So it's massively different. Zach Mettenberger, why? Why has he got to have a shave to play better? It's ridiculous. Anyway, I am off on a random tangent there. So, the Tennessee Titans replace the Jags at the bottom, the pond life of the AFC South. Sorry, Titans fans, and I don't even know if any Titans fans listen, in fairness. We hardly hear from any sort of Titans fans, so come on, Titans fans, where are you? 0161 818 4593. Put me in my place regarding Zach Mettenberger. Well, I think's okay, in fairness. Right then, on to the AFC North. Last time out, I had the Steelers here. I couldn't figure out who the Steelers are, and they dropped that 50 burger on the Colts last week, and Big Ben played lights out. Andrew Luck seems to be getting some criticism of late. Don't see that at all. Crazy. Why is Luck getting a bit of hate? Very, very odd for me. I'd take Andrew Luck in a heartbeat and put him as the base of my franchise for the next 10 to 15 years going forward. So, yeah, that's crazy criticism that is totally uncalled for in my eyes. But, yeah, where are we? Yeah, Big Ben had a cracking game. But, right, where am I? I can't read my notes. This is not good. It's because I'm just going off on random ones. Yeah, that was it now. The Steelers are off the bottom, basically. And, Simon, you're going to hate me for this, but your Cleveland Browns, they now prop the division up, in fairness. Why? The loss of Alex Mack is killing you. The defense, that is slowly turning around, I have to say. But Hoyer, he struggled. What was the stat we reeled off the other week on the show? Was it 8 complete passes for 20, 40, 50-odd yards? And yeah, I'm not convinced. And everyone else in the division is playing better, to be fairness. But I will say this. Cincinnati Bengals, you are on notice. Had you lost Sunday to the Ravens, and I do believe you should have lost, because Steve Smith, that was a very, very harsh call on him. Bengals got away with one. I can't remember the name of the DB, but he fell over. Considering he's a big, hard, tough man that will run through brick walls, Steve Smith pretty much brushed him with a feather and he fell over. Outrageous decision. Ravens robbed. So Bengals, you're on notice. Any more of this, and I won't hesitate to replace the Browns with the Bengals. So you've been warned. Right then, let's move on. NFC East. The Redskins slipped here last time out due to the emergence of the Giants. As I've given credit to the Steelers for the big win, I got to tip my hat now to the Redskins for knocking off the Cowboys last week. As for the Giants, the Giants are what? Just, what are the Giants? If anyone's got an answer to that one, I'm struggling this week. What are the Tennessee Titans and what are the New York Giants? Hit me up, 0161 818 4593, or even get on Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. I will check in on Twitter in a moment. So, as I'm saying, yeah, the Redskins were here, then the Giants sort of, the Giants were here ages ago. Then the Redskins, no, let me get this right. The Redskins were here, and then the Giants slipped, or something like that. I have no idea where I am with this now. Anyway... the Redskins were bottom. There was a pile of misery. Right, the Giants are taking over because I'm giving credit to the Redskins for that win with Colt McCoy on Monday Night Football. And the Giants have been on a bye week, and I don't know what's going on there. So, yeah, in a roundabout way, the Giants prop up the NFC East. So it's full-on misery in New York with the Giants and Jets bottom of their respective divisions. Think I'm getting away with this so far? Probably not. On to the NFC North. Last time out, it was utter chaos. Twitter went into a bizarre meltdown when I gazed into my crystal ball and said, you know what, the Chicago Bears are absolutely awful. And the misery's poured out from then onwards. There's rumours of locker room unrest and the usual sort of stuff that seems to boil to the surface when things aren't going your way. And Jay Cutler, in fairness, wow, he's been awful. He's had, I think he's had some Geno Smith type moments. Utter brain farts is one of the best phrases I've heard this week on a variety of shows. So, yeah, Jay Cutler, he's been bad, really bad. The Vikings, they've been the bottom of this, in fairness, forever. So. Yeah, well, they couldn't have been bottom of this forever because I said that the Bears were there last week. Oh, my God. Anyway, so yeah, basically, I'm sticking with the Bears where they are. I just think that the Vikings, the Vikings, I've seen a little bit of hope. I know Bridgewater was woeful the other week, but I just can't get over the fact that on paper, the Bears have an absolute abundance, and I mean an abundance of talent at the wide receiver position and the running back and Matt Forte, but how are they not just I don't know I know the D's not absolutely amazing, but they can outscore quite a lot of teams, and yet they've been struggling. So, the Bears remain there. I'm sure. Yeah, Bears bottom. Let's move on. Where are we? NFC South. Yeah, more controversy last time out is I put the Falcons at the bottom. They replaced the Bucs. This has been a tough one for me, a real tough one, because the Bucs have been awful. The Falcons have been equally as bad. They let that 21-point lead go last week. I can't decide on it. I really, really can't decide who's the worst team. I'm going to have to break the not-so-great 8 rules. Yeah, and send the show quite possibly into a sheer and utter meltdown. Falcons and Bucs, I'm going to have to put you on a level playing field. You are both absolutely woeful. So you're going to have to share the accolade of the not-so-great 8. Worst team in the NFC South. Worst teams. That's maybe some sort of reprieve for Bucs fans, because it's been absolutely awful for them. Falcons, head coach, GM possibly gone at the end of this year. Not the best sort of support I've seen from their what's his name now? I can picture him, old guy. Is it Arthur? Someone help me out there. Anyway, but it's not a great deal. What's the word? Do you know when? What is it now? Oh, it escapes me. What is it? Hardly a show of support with the comments he made. I can't find the bloody article. I'll have a look back. Anyway, on to the NFC West. Right. I feel I need a break today. Already. Oh, this is the one. This one is going to cause absolute ripples. It's going to cause ripples. Twitter's going to blow up. Zone Coverage FS, like it is doing with the one notification that I've got. Come on, people. What are you doing? NFC West. Right then. I'm dropping the hammer on this segment. Just had 2 teams tied for the worst. So the rankings, or whatever the way you want to look at them, is up in the air. So, for the first time, the Rams, yes, the St. Louis Rams are off the bottom of the NFC West in my eyes. And wait for it. This is just going to send the world into utter meltdown. Seattle Seahawks. Dramatic pause. I envision coffee was spewed everywhere then at that revelation. Yes, that's right. The Seattle Seahawks are now the worst team, in my eyes, in the NFC West. Lost at home to the Cowboys. The Rams beat him. Only just beat the Panthers. Traded Percy Harvin. Lynch is unhappy. And I just see, for me, I've not been convinced. Russell Wilson aside, Cam Chancellor's been woeful. The Seahawks is not... it's not been pretty at all. And I judge this on what I've seen from the past few weeks. And the Rams beat the Seahawks with the craziest play I've ever seen on that fake punt, which was absolutely awesome. Maybe not for the Seahawks fans. So yeah, sorry, it's my show. I'm going with the Seahawks as the NFC West. You prop up the division. Thoughts on that, please? Zone Coverage Football Show at mail.com if you want to email me. And then I was going to say the Twitter handle, but I got it all confused. Zone Coverage FS on Twitter. I will check in on Twitter. Wow, just got a picture here from Will Davies. Breaking news, we're nearing blizzard conditions in Foxborough. I will actually retweet this picture that Will Davies has sent me there. Also, Marty Toontime's got in touch. Big surprise this year. The Cardinals, really strong. Shows what a difference a veteran quarterback makes. Yeah, they does. Oh no, are we still live in there? I don't know what's gone on. I seem to have lost my screen went blank, my heart stopped. Wow, for an utter moment then. Taylor at the Equinox, he says, yeah, totally agree on Seattle. Excellent. We have support for Seattle being just not so good. Not so great 8. Right then, let's do this. Let's get to the fan versus fan segment. And this week, I have a buzzer. So when 2 minutes hits, I have a buzzer. But the bigger question is, do I have a coin to flip? Well, I rummage in my pockets and find a coin. Yeah, we have a coin. Right, we are all set. Right then, so we will go over now to Charlie Andrews and Thomas Ritchie. Stand by your phones, fellas, as I try and ring you. The way that this is going today... yeah, it's just not going well. I will be trying Charlie first. So, Charlie, if you are by your phone, sir, please bear with me while I try to call you. So here we go. Should be Charlie, and he is representing the Patriots today, I do believe. You're just waiting for Charlie to answer now. Hello? No, still waiting. Wherever you are, Charlie, please answer your phone. This segment could fall flat on its face rather rapidly. We're still calling. Charlie, if you are... Oh, hello.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Charlie?
Good, thank you.
Good.
I just listened to a little bit of your show.
All right, cool. Is this the first time that you've listened in?
Yes, it is.
What? Can I get your thoughts? And be honest and brutal. I'm a man, I can take it.
From what I've heard, it's really good.
You're not just saying that? You can't curry favour here.
Dude, I worked in radio for 30 years. I'm not going to bullshit you.
All right, fair enough. We have to watch the expletives.
Yeah. Obviously. Got to get names down.
Yeah, no.
The player's number doesn't help.
Yeah. Charlie, sort of introduce yourself not only to me, the listeners. Obviously, you're representing the Pats today. A little bit of background on your... I can obviously pick up on an accent there. So the floor is yours, sir. Just go for it.
Boston resident until about 20 years ago. I've lived in the UK for 20 years now, and I've been a New England Patriots fan for 48 of their 60-year history.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've always been my local team.
Oh, that's awesome. How come, if you don't mind me asking, you moved to the UK?
I married.
Oh, right. How's life in the UK then? Has that been treating you well the last 20 years?
No, it's crap. I didn't move here for the weather, put it that way.
Yeah, I can't envision that you did. So I would imagine, do you get to go back home regularly then?
I have fairly regularly, and I've been lucky enough to take my children to see the Patriots at Wembley. So
oh, nice.
That's good, and we had to make the pilgrimage to Gillette last time we were there. So luckily I've got a friend who is the head of security for the Patriots.
Nice.
So my children got to go into the dressing room and try on Will Forks and Brady's jerseys and
that's cool.
Stuff like that. So it was very good, very good.
All right, so my next question is then, obviously besides the weather, what do you miss most then, home comfort-wise?
Going to the game every Sunday.
Yeah. That was a dumb question, man.
And not having to stay up till stupid o'clock in the morning to watch it.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. These burning that midnight oil 2, 3 in the morning, it's not comfortable, is it? It's not fun.
No, it's not. But, if I didn't, I'd have to hand in my residency, I've got by law.
Brilliant stuff. Right then, Charlie, if you just bear with me, I'm going to try and get Thomas on the phone, and then I will sort of go through things, the order of the day. So,
yeah, that's fine.
Fingers crossed. I can. It's just all the button tapping here. It's a one-man show, so you have to sort of bear with me as
Where
I
are you
sort
based?
of.
You in Manchester?
I'm not in Manchester. I'm in Stoke-on-Trent. So I'm 45 minutes from Manchester. Yeah, but
I'm Stoke-on-Trent.
You know Stoke-on-Trent?
So I do.
Oh, and what respect?
I did a couple shows there. I stage managed in Compare, and there was a show at some boozer there for a weekend years ago.
Oh, right. Stoke-on-Trent, the less said about it, the better, I feel.
Yeah, it's one of those places.
Right, brilliant. I'll try and get Thomas on now as we go. So fingers crossed, Thomas, if you are listening, he will answer.
Okay.
The joys of technology, eh?
Oh, please.
We don't seem to be getting any answer here. So, Charlie, you might be just talking about your home comforts that you miss here.
Yeah.
Hello?
Whatever.
Hello.
Is that Thomas?
Yes, it is. I am Mark.
How's things, sir? Are you well?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So, Thomas, Charlie, Thomas.
How are you, Thomas?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you. How come you sound like you're 12 years old?
Because I am.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Brilliant. Right then, Thomas, could you tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into this?
Well, I'm from Leeds and I've been a Broncos fan for a few years now. And I love the NFL.
Cool. How did you get into the NFL then, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know, I just watched it and really enjoyed it.
That's it? You pick the Broncos and away you go?
Yeah,
brilliant.
much.
Excellent. Right then, guys, this is what the plan is. I will flip a coin in a moment and decide who goes first, but you're both going to get 2 minutes each. And during that 2 minutes, you can use all the time, or if you're done, just say you're done. Basically, put forward the best case you can on why you feel your team's going to win today. I do have a buzzer this week, something I've not had for the past few weeks. So as soon as you hear this sound, that's basically, I don't know, maybe less rude than me.
Really annoying.
Yeah, that's it. So once you hear that, that is it. So that'll be your 2 minutes up. Right then, I will, Charlie, as I rung you first, I will let you select heads or tails, sir.
I'll go for tails.
Right, and here we go. Oh, it is tails. Would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second, mate.
Go second. Right then, Thomas, are you ready?
I am ready, yeah.
Just bear with me. My stopwatch is not working. Somewhere I will find it. Here we go. Where's the clock? Right. Very, very professional, my end. Sorry, fellas. I do apologise. Right then, I am ready. Thomas, the floor is yours. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Right, first of all, Peyton Manning, 22 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions so far. Denver Broncos have the best offense in the NFL this year. They've only allowed 8 sacks. Patriots have allowed 15 sacks. The defense is really performed to the top standard this year. They've made 23 sacks. So Patriots offensive line will be pretty worried. The Patriots have also allowed 4.6 yards per rush this year, and the Broncos have started to improve that in recent games. Julius Thomas, I have to say, has really been the best tight end in the NFL this year. Outperformed Gronkowski. Von Miller's on a great run of form with his sacks. Tom Brady will be pretty worried, and in recent weeks put 41 points past the Cardinals and 42 points past the 49ers, who are both very high-quality football teams, so it all bodes well for this week. And I've finished.
That's it then, brilliant. I didn't have to use my annoying buzzer, much to your relief, Charlie.
Yeah, well.
Right then.
Well, it's annoying. What can you do?
Yeah, this is it. These things happen. Thomas, I appreciate that. Right then, Charlie, your 2 minutes starts now, sir.
Okay, the reason that the Patriots are going to win today is, firstly, it's snowing in Foxborough, and the Patriots have never lost a home game in the snow.
Wow.
That is one of their stats, unfortunately. As far as Thomas facing off against Gronkowski, remember Gronkowski's been injured and just getting back up to his full potential. He didn't have a really good game until last week, but he's slowly but surely coming up. As far as the Brady-Manning thing goes, remember Manning's a bit older than Brady, but Brady's also working with almost a completely new offense. As far as our defense goes, you're going to have to get through the big man of number 75. I just lost his name. Wilfork. There we go. So that's going to be hard. Plus, you've got your Chandler Joneses, and even on offense, you've got Nate Solder, who is head and shoulders above the offensive line of Denver. And I think the definite thing that's going to work in this game is the home field advantage for the Patriots. And I think the Patriots are looking at it as a replay of last year's conference championship. Now, the one thing that's bothering me is everyone's saying it's Brady versus Manning, because it's not. It's actually Manning versus Bill Belichick, because Brady and Manning do not face themselves on the field, obviously both being offensive players. So I definitely think it's going to be a Bill Belichick versus Peyton Manning. And I'd like to see Manning do what his brother does and throw the most interceptions, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. And that's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Brilliant. So that means we've saved ourselves from that annoying sound. So I'm not even I'm not even going to go there. So is there any sort of replies then back and forward, Thomas, Charlie? Is there anything you want to say before I put this out to the voters?
Not really, I don't think.
Okay.
I just think it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be I think the main thing is it's going to be a defensive game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Most incredible. My prediction for the game is it's going to be 38-34 Patriots.
I think it'll be more like 31-20 Broncos, I think.
Nice. Either way, sounds like an entertaining game. Right then, guys, what I've done is I've just put out a tweet saying either vote Thomas, Thomas, or Charlie. So get your fella fans, retweet that, and then it's up to the listeners, basically, who they feel put out the better case and how many friends you've got that can tweet me, basically. that also
it's a popularity contest now.
No, it's not. It's about what your statement you've just put forward.
Right. Exactly. I know.
Right then. So the plan will be around about 5:15. So we got what now? The next 35 minutes to get the votes in. That's at Zone Coverage FS. Vote Thomas, hashtag Charlie. Very thoughtful my end with the hashtags there. So if you guys just stand by your phones and I shall ring you back in, well, I'll ring the victor back in about 35 minutes.
All right, excellent. Look forward to hearing from you, Mark.
Brilliant. So, Thomas, thanks very much for coming on the show. Yeah, thank you. And Charlie, it's been a pleasure, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Anytime. And guys, if I only get a chance, I'm obviously going to only get a chance to ring one of you, but do feel free to ring back another week because I definitely a lot more want to touch on with you both, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Right then, guys, for now, stand by your phones and get voting. Thanks.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
All right, take care. Thanks.
And there we go. Seamless. Absolutely seamless, my end. Wow. Yeah. The men in white jackets, I'm sure they're going to be knocking at the doors rather soon. So that is the fan versus fan segment now. We have Thomas, who sounds like a 12-year-old boy because he is a 12-year-old boy. So if you want Thomas to win there, hashtag Thomas, put up an excellent case for his Denver Broncos. And Charlie, who's he's moved all the way over to endure our rather glorious weather from Boston to the UK, representing the Patriots. So hashtag Charlie there. So here we go. I'm going to check in on Twitter at Zone Coverage FS. And I feel a little more under pressure knowing that Charlie worked in radio for so many years, considering I am probably putting his industry to shame during this broadcast. So right then, we have a couple of tweets from Tom Marshall. A Red Zone UK says Seahawks won't be last in the West, but they won't be first either. Cards, 49ers, Hawks, then Rams. I would imagine that's in regard to their fixtures. He actually asks a question here. Is Woody Johnson as much to blame for the Jets' problems as Idzik and Ryan? It's a mess, yeah. Everyone's equally to blame. It's borderline clear house, start from the top. Yeah, you've got me now. You really have got me. I'm surprised that was not mentioned by Charlie there. I got away with that one, in fairness. So the votes are coming in. I need to draw up some form of table here. I need someone that can keep tabs on this while we go. So yeah, I remember hashtag Thomas, hashtag Charlie for who you feel will win a fan versus fan this week. And moving forward as well, we had one person's own. We only had one person actually register for the fan versus fan segment. If you want to do that, you can just tweet me, and what I'll do is I usually tend to pick a game that's on Sky that week. In fairness, so yeah. Even if your team's not on Sky this particular week, just register your interest. Say, yeah, I want to be on your fan versus fan segment. Remember, the only stipulation that I've got is Skype. Skype is the only way that I can do a conference call, in fairness. I'm not that sophisticated that the mobile's plugged into all sorts of mad, crazy stuff, and I can do calls that way. So, yeah, Skype is the only stipulation there. And yeah, so just tweet me, say I want to be on your fan versus fan segment, and away we go. And as you can see, it's good fun, and we didn't get to use the buzzer this week. Right then, I will check in on Twitter. Twitter's going crazy at the moment. I do envision these being votes. Yes, yeah, a lot of support for either. I need to make mental note of these as I go. It's very, very, very professional as well, yeah. Right, Marty's been in touch again, and Slim's retweeting and favouriting. So Jet Slim, who found me, I've known Jet Slim for a while. He actually stumbled across this little branch-off show that I'm now doing. So welcome aboard, Slim. Hope you're enjoying the first show, mate. Denver Broncos UK, they've been retweeting as well. A lot of tweets coming in as we go. I actually can't write down who's doing what. Right, here we go. Yes, It's very, very close is all I can say. So welcome John McDonald for the tweet as well. So keep these tweets coming in, guys, at Zone Coverage FS. 15 minutes time, we will have the Fantasy 5 at 5 via the guys at Dundee NFL. So any sort of questions you've got, there's a lot of teams on a bye this week. An awful lot. We have the Lions, Falcons, Bills, Bears, Packers and Titans. So if you are struggling for your lineups, you've got 15 minutes. Tweet at Dundee NFL, and fingers crossed Simon has got some form of plan that doesn't involve starting old Giants. That's one for you, Russell, because I know on the last show you were hammering Simon for that comment that's achieving a legendary status. So right then, as we are on to the the Week 9 fixtures, let's have a look at who's playing who and who's on the TV today. So we had actually the 3-4 Saints against the 3-4-1 Panthers for basically who was going to be top of the South on Thursday night. The Saints won that 28-10. We have the 1-6 Buccaneers at the 3-4 Browns. This one, for me, is great. Loads of great games again this week. Your Sky game on Sky, 6 p.m. tonight, is the 6-1 Cardinals against the 6-2 Cowboys. No Tony Romo this week. He has been rested, so it's time for Weedon Power. Weedon Power, that sounds like something from the 70s that could leave you with the munchies. Anyway, we best move on. The 5-2 Eagles at the 4-4 Texans. We have my miserable team, the 1-7 Jets, at the 4-3 Chiefs. We also have another 1-7 team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They head to Cincinnati to take on the 4-2-1 Bengals. Another cracking game here. The 5-3 Chargers at the 4-3 Dolphins. Battle of the 3-5 teams up next. We had the 3-5 Redskins at the 3-5 Vikings. The return of RG3 today. What are your thoughts on this? You've still got 15 minutes if anyone wants to chime in on anything today. RG3, should he be coming back early? Is he done? Is he one injury away from career being over? What's happening in the locker room? Has he just totally alienated himself? What is going on there? Redskins fans, you know what? I don't think we've ever heard of a Redskins fan on the show, so don't be a stranger. Just you can tweet me. That is it now. Because I was worried about this. People might be a little shy, didn't want contact the show. You'll never guess what I've gone and done. My missus thinks I'm absolutely mental at the best of times, so geeking out and stuff like that just probably improves the point. But if you go to the website, www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com, you will notice now on the right-hand side of that, you can leave a voicemail. You get 90 seconds to leave a voicemail, so it's basically I am ripping off. Have you heard it on Radio 1 where they do that Rage Against the Answering Machine? I don't want those stupid openings. I'm so angry, it boils my whatever and all that nonsense. But if there's something on your mind or something that's jumped out at you or like a point that you want to say, go to the website, zonecoveragefootballshow.com. Just click on that button in the corner and then you can record a message for the show. Forget some good ones or forget any at all, in fairness. I will play them on the show next week. Maybe you've got like a hot root topic that you want to put up for discussion. I'll play that. Happy to promote any work and stuff that you've got, so go over to the site and you can leave us a voicemail. 90 seconds is the maximum, I do believe, and I've not tested out the software yet, so if I do get a message over, I know it's working. So yeah, go to the website for that. Here we go then. Back in on Twitter, Weed and Power. Marty says, do you put that on your lawn? I suppose, yeah, we'll go with that. Right, here we go. Right, I've just had a message actually from Charlie. Wow, he sent me a vine of the snow falling in Foxborough, and yeah, makes for tonight's game very, very interesting. So appreciate that, Charlie, mate. That is very good of you, sir. Right, keep them votes coming in. What was the hashtags now? It was vote Charlie and vote Thomas. Broncos and Patriots, they do square off tonight. That is actually your Sky game, 9:25 p.m. 6-1 Broncos, 6-2 Pats. For me as a neutral, it should be a good game to watch. I'm looking forward to that. Also on the card this week, we have the 2-5 Rams at the 4-3 49ers. 49ers have just about managed to tread water. They get the return of a few of their players over the course of the next few weeks. So all looking good for the 49ers in fairness, but can they top the Cards? The Cards they've been impressive so far. I've been very, very impressed with the Cards. On to the next game. 0-7 Raiders at the 4-3 Seahawks. What a shock this would be. This would be a huge, huge shock in some weird kind of twisted way. I want it to happen just for the Raiders fans. Give them a little bit of hope, something to shout about for a week. I think it'd really just turn the NFL on its head and just backs up that any given Sunday statement that you hear so often. Moving on to your late game on Channel 4, the 1:30 a.m. that Charlie is struggling to stay up to since his move over the pond. We have battle of the 5-3 teams. Baltimore Ravens against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Channel 4, 1:30 a.m. And then your Monday night game is Andrew Luck's 5-3 Colts against the 3-4 Giants. That is on your British Eurosport, again at 1:30 a.m. We are 10 minutes away now from the Fantasy 5 at 5 segment with Simon from at Dundee NFL. Also joining us round about 5:20 today will be Tom from at Huddle Magazine. Tom will be giving us like a roundup of the latest sort of news and that I've missed whilst I've been on air. So what else do we have on today's show? We've gone through the fixtures. We've got the standings we can look at in a minute. Yeah, so there's a few bits we can go at. Shall we delve into the rather bizarre world that is the Love Line? I feel it's been a week or two since. There was no Love Line last week because of the Wembley show. So, right now, let's jump back in. Tweets are still coming in. I will say this, it is tied. It is a tie at the moment. So, again, hashtag Charlie representing the New England Patriots and hashtag Thomas representing the Denver Broncos in this week's Fan versus Fan segment. Right then, let's get to it. Everyone's favourite bit, the absolutely shambolic music theme, whatever you want to call it. That is the Love Line.
Welcome to the Zone Coverage Football Show, Love Line.
Quite possibly the most cringe-worthy music to any feature ever made by man. It's absolutely awful, and I do know a few of you cringe when that comes on, so yeah. That is the opening titles to the Love Line. What is the Love Line if you are new to the show? The Love Line, it's not a dating service for one. I've said numerous times you have Friday, Saturday night, shots, beer, all sorts of stuff to sort out your love life there. The Love Line is basically me giving out a bit of praise for the big guys on the line, the D-line and the O-line. All the playmakers, your star receivers, your quarterback or your poster pin-up boys, they get all the glory and all that sort of stuff. So they get enough praise and worship. So what I like to do, again, I've said a few moments ago now, I'm a fan like you guys. I cannot name every man on every roster. It'd be absolutely crazy of me if I could. It'd be impressive, damn impressive, go down the pub and say, this is your left tackle for such and such, but I cannot do that. So not only am I spreading a bit of love for the guys on the line, either side of the line, I'm also putting the names out so they're a bit more familiar with everyone. So you can go, yes, him. See, so that is basically the Love Line. And I'm taking nominations for Love Line. If you've got someone on your team that maybe the rest of the people don't know about, just like an unsung hero, so to say, then again, tweet me at Zone Coverage FS or ring me 01618184593. You can save yourself from this madness. 7 minutes till we go Fantasy 5 at 5. So right then, the first guy that I've got for today's Love Line feature is Pittsburgh Steelers guard David DeCastro. He is 6 foot... Oh, I forgot, right, 6 foot what? He's 6 foot odd, 315 pound. He was born in Kirkland of South African descent. During high school, he excelled at the discus and shot put, went on to play college ball for Stanford, where he earned All-American honors numerous times. He was selected in the 2012 draft first. Let's put my teeth back in and start that again. He was selected 24th overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the first round of the 2012 draft. Unfortunately, his rookie season did not go to plan as he's injured his ACL and MCL during a preseason. He made his comeback in October of that year and has been a solid starter since his return. Wow, what a mess. Anyway, so that is David DeCastro, guard for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is 6 foot odd, because I forgot to put down the rest of my notes. So yeah, so if you see anyone 6 foot odd on the Pittsburgh line, that could be David DeCastro. Anyway, moving on. I've only just realised this. 2 teams that square off on the late game today. We have a Ravens guy. Ravens centre, Gino Gradowski, 6'3". I remembered how tall he was, 300 pounds. He was born in Pittsburgh, funnily enough. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Started his college ball at West Virginia Uni before transferring to the University of Delaware. He was drafted in the 4th round, 98th overall pick, also of the 2012 draft. Quite a good rookie year, come in and won the Super Bowl as part of the Ravens team, where Joe Flacco was outstanding down the stretch, had a big contract, and has been nothing but mediocre since. Right then, let's jump back in on, that is your love line for this week, in fairness. I'll just do 2 a week. I'll save you from the torture that is that theme tune once again. So 4 minutes to go till Simon rings in. So if you got a chance, hit him up on Twitter. It's not Zone Coverage FS, that's me, Dundee NFL. Check back in on Twitter. Remember, you got 20 minutes left to get your votes in for Charlie and Thomas. Again, Thomas is representing the Denver Broncos and Charlie the New England Patriots. So I will just check in, see what's going on here. DeCastro, cheers. Tune time, 6'5". 6 foot odd. I was there, 6'5". That wasn't a bad effort my end. Marty, appreciate that, mate. This show's slowly going down the toilet. I wouldn't say, it is slowly going down the toilet. Painful 90 minutes this week. This is what happens when you have a week off. I've lost me, was it Feng Shui? Yeah, I was unfamiliar surroundings. Right then, let's get back to it. Where were we? 3 minutes to go to the Fantasy 5 at 5. Yeah, keep them votes coming in. Remember, after Simon's been on, do feel free to give us a bell. 0161 818 4593 or hit me up via Skype, TSmister, TEECE Mister. Right, so I'm just sort of panning, in fairness, for the last 3 minutes while we wait for Simon to ring. What I will do, a few mentions from you guys that I've picked up over the course of the last week as well. Just my way of saying thanks. We have David Taylor, Brett Lovedale, UK First Down, Tim and Tom NFL, Gary Jordan, John Cartwright, Steve Owens, who I mentioned at the top of the show, DBY_3, Cameron at C4MRIN. He was trying to get me to wave at the end zone last week. Also, my former teammate Anthony Hollinshead, he messaged me and we played together for the Crew Railroaders. I am unfortunately still awaiting my operation on my torn ACL. Happened in February. Yeah, I'm not too happy about it is an understatement, but that is a story for another day. If you want to hear about that, let me know. But yeah, cheers Ant for the support, mate. It's been a long time since we spoke. Right then, who else have we got here? Yeah, Scott Larkin, Biff Sweeney, Marty, as always, Will Davies, Paul Sigsworth, Tom Marshall. Tom sent me a tweet last week as well. I was trying to get to meet up with him. Sorry I couldn't do that. I was already in the ground by the time he got there. Matt Phillips. Right then. Jumping back in. Oh God, choke then. Marty says, just like the Jets, messy after a bye week. We haven't even been on a bye week yet and we're a mess. So I dread to think what's going to happen down the stretch. So keep those tweets coming in then. Keep voting. As we go forward, we are any second now. I do feel that the phone is going to go for Simon. So save us from the misery that is this, please, Simon. Give us a bell whenever you are ready, sir. I am ready. I'm just looking now. What do we have to go at after After 5 o'clock once Simon's been on. Might have to keep Simon talking quite a while. In fairness, we do... Oh, that's it. I can run through the standings. We can touch in on that. Standings, again, we'll go through what we have fixture-wise, who was on the TV, what channel, etc., etc. So that is that, basically. Remember, if you want to email the show, anything on your mind, any sort of ideas, suggestions that you've got, don't be shy at all. I encourage it. Criticism, good, bad, whatever, and ratings, reviews, get over to Stitcher, iTunes, and keep spreading the word about the show as well. The support and everything has been absolutely fantastic since this adventure started. Also, after 5 o'clock, we do still have time to get your call in regarding the hot route. You sort of surprises on the season, anything sort of jumped out at you, new head coaches that have been struggling, players that were touted as being absolutely phenomenal, sort of somewhat struggled so far throughout the year. These quarterbacks that have started more games than Johnny Football. He actually made the news the other day for tweeting out his phone number. That's how desperate the news... Do you think he's done that on purpose, by the way? So he says, hi, remember me? Yeah, maybe that's clever marketing his end. I don't know. I wouldn't wish to speculate, even though I just have. So, yeah. Simon, where are you, sir? It's 5 o'clock. Fantasy 5 at 5 coming right up. Let's have a look let's delve into the divisions, in fairness. Let's have a quick look. Oh, here we go. Because that's like, it's read me in mind. Hello, Simon.
Good evening, Mark. Hiya. How are you doing?
I am very, very well, sir. How are you?
Oh, brilliant, thank you. Much better from last week. Apologies I couldn't make it with you from Wembley last week due to a little bit of stomach trouble, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, I was going to say, hope you're feeling a lot better after last week's bout of illness.
Yeah, just watching the Browns every week, just catching up on me a bit, I think.
Yeah, I am now... got a head of grey hair forming after these last 7 weeks of watching the Jets, so I know exactly how you feel, mate. Right then, we'll get into it then, play a little theme tune, and then we will delve into the fantastic world that is fantasy football. That's enough for that. It still creeps me out, that does, in fairness. We need yeah. to. I need to come up with something new. Might just play the.
Let's get something a bit more heavy rock. I think.
Bit of heavy rock, yeah. Anyone out there that can do a heavy rock sort of thing for the fantasy football, just hit myself up at Zone Coverage FS or Simon on at Dundee NFL. So
right, yes, okay. Let's kick this off. Well, for the last sort of week or so, I've been searching high and low for some decent fantasy advice to give you. Checked out all the internet sites, checked out all the news online, all that sort of thing as well, and Sky Sports and Channel 4 and all that. And I decided, right, who can I put the mockers on this week? In time-honoured tradition, yeah. So everybody out there, just do exactly the opposite of what I say, and you should be okay, actually. You should be okay on your fantasy advice. But in all seriousness, I've got a few quirky ones again for everybody to think about this week. And I'm going to try and do you a favour, Mark, this week, because I'm going to start with Michael Vick.
Oh, no.
Okay, now we think he's going to start today. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Starting for the Jets or the Chiefs?
Yeah, we're having a misery dressed in a different number.
Well, he's going to make a start on the centre then, isn't he, today for Gangrene? So now then, obviously Geno Smith and Mike Vick didn't look too good last week. But however, I'm just thinking about some of the quarterbacks that are missing this week. So we're looking at people like Jay Cutler, taking the lead anyway, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan. So you might be looking at something, looking at the dustbin in terms of who can you get, to replace these guys at quarterback just for 1 week only. So just have a think about Michael Vick. I'm not saying definitely pick him, but if he's the best of a bad lot, then it might be worth a pop. 3 quarters of action, Vick's managed to lead the Jets to 17 points on 5 series, tallying 152 pass yards and 69 rushing yards on the ground. So again, it could be a little bit of value there, depending on what sort of mood.
Oh, as always, Simon never fails to drop off. Yeah, he was on about Michael Vick, so Simon, give us a ring back, mate. It wouldn't be the show without Simon falling off air, in fairness. So as we await Simon's call back to the show there, we'll remind you to vote. Yes, that's what I will do. Vote, what was it now? Hashtag Thomas, hashtag Charlie for the fan versus fan segment as we await Simon's reconnection to the call. I don't know what happened there. Signal just seems to die. Skype, the joys of Skype. I have to even get wired in on Skype at times because it's as good as a service as it is. It does have its moments. Right then, so keep those tweets coming in at Zone Coverage FS as we move towards the last 25 minutes of the show. Remember, about 15 minutes time we will have Tom from at Huddle Magazine coming on with the latest sort of news and roundup thoughts and stuff. People that are injured, maybe missing today, and basically any last minute news from around the NFL as we go. And that's not a plug for another podcast, by the way. Right then, I don't know where Simon's gone. Maybe we may have lost his connection for all eternity. Simon, where are you? If you need be, he's here now. Hello, sir.
Hello, we're back again.
Yeah, I was just saying, and our great tradition that we have. It's Skype, mate. It's an absolute pile of muck at times, in fairness.
It's okay. Well, speaking of which, we're talking about Michael Vick.
Yes, we're smoothless transition.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll leave Michael Vick. We'll see how he gets on anyway. But again, just worth as a sort of a dustbin filler for quarterback. If you're that desperate, then he might be available on to pick up at very short notice. And you never know, he could get a few points for you. But all the points matter. Even if he only gets 5 or 10 points, you never know. It could make all the difference.
Yeah, I had to pick up Eli Manning this week for a dustbin filler for me. I was surprised he was still there. Yeah,
because he's actually done reasonably well.
Yeah, he's been average. He's been above average, hasn't he, I feel?
Yeah, definitely. So, and they've certainly got some talent on that Giants offense as well. So, I'd agree. He's worth a pick up. Right, moving on. Number 2, going to go for another quarterback as well here. Ryan Fitzpatrick and Beard. So that's for the Houston Texans. Now they're at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, I think, this week.
Yeah.
And again, a little bit of a dodgy one, but if the Eagles aren't too bad against the runs, if they block the run, then we think the Texans are going to be passing the ball a hell of a lot more. So if you can fire a few passes out there in what could become a bit of a shootout, I think it could be a shootout this week as well. So. The two cornerbacks for the Eagles, I think it's Kerry Williams, Bradley Fletcher, are pretty bad. So against the coverage. So again, he could come up trumps there. So you never know. So again, just a bit of a stretch out of the dustbin there if he's still available. So 2 quarterbacks really for everybody out there if they're going to replace one of the big boys, as we mentioned earlier. Now then, we'll go on to number 3 and. My colleague at Fourth Down and Out will be quite pleased with this. Mr. Russell Duke, I've picked running back Bobby Rainey, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back. Now, they're playing the Cleveland Browns today, my Cleveland Browns, in what we call the sort of Dundee NFL derby today, actually, because it's my Browns against Russell's Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
How's the banter sort of going on that front at the moment? Has it got to curse words and derogatory statements, yeah?
No, not yet. Nothing above the normal. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So, no, I think he's only going. He said he's only going to be able to see about an hour of the game anyway, because he's promised his wife I'll put it mildly, a nice night in, shall we say?
Oh, yeah. Russell, wink, wink, nod.
Yeah, he's keeping it sweet. I think that's what it is.
Do you reckon I should send him over the Love Line theme tune?
I think you should, shouldn't you? Yeah, definitely. But anyway, we'll see. I'll see how long he's able to either resist her or resist the football. I think he'll probably be able to resist her and go for the football. But there you go. If you're listening, Russell, don't mean it. Right.
Oh, dear.
Okay. So yeah, Bobby Rainey. The Browns are about, I think, the number 32 against the run in the league. They've been absolutely awful against the rush this year. So I take any running back any week basically at the moment against the Browns, because the Browns' defensive front is in pieces because of injuries, etc. So yeah, Bobby Rainey, he's coming in. You've also got there's a rookie there for Tampa Bay as well, Charles Sims. So he might be, if anybody else is looking for running back cover this week, certainly against the Browns, who are 32 in the league against the run, might be worth considering the Bobby Rainey and Charles Sims for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still think the Browns are going to win the game, mind you, but I think they could be. The Browns are dreadful against the run, as we said. So you could get some solid sort of running back number 2 or flex option there with those 2 guys. Okay, another running back for you, running back Jeremy Hill. the Bengals. Now, I've not been keeping tabs this afternoon, so this could sort of blow up in my face. If not now, then perhaps later on, as per usual. Jeremy Hill, Bengals, they're home against the Jaguars. And I'm not sure if Gio Bernard, he was doubtful, so I don't know if you've heard anything on Bernard's status this week, Mark?
That was the sort of last news that I got. I actually went to a couple of leagues I was in, and he'd already gone. In fairness, people have picked him up. I'm sure Tom, this is like a call out then to Tom, he will have some last minute news on Gio Bernard, but yeah, I'm with you. The last I heard, he was out.
Yeah, so again, Jeremy Hill, like you say, Mark, I'd be quite surprised if you could pick him up, but you never know, it might be worth a look in your leagues. Because he's definitely going to get some points. The Bengals sort of use the running backs as quite heavy workhorses, and he's definitely, I would say, definitely up for sort of 20 plus carries, I would say, this week. So again, borderline running back running back 1, definitely running back 2 or a flex option for anybody. If you can pick him up, it'd be a fantastic pickup. And lastly, number 5, we've got tight end Clay Harbour. Who? I hear everybody else.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, who's Clay Harbour? Well, he's a tight end for Jacksonville, basically. Again, somebody I've just sort of been keeping a bit of an eye on over the last few weeks. And again, against the matchup against the Bengals, now the Bengals defense allows the 3rd most fantasy points to tight ends. Did you know that? Bet you didn't.
No.
So yeah, again, week in, week out, again for everybody listening out there, just check out who's good against certain positions, as I did this week, and yeah, found Clay Harbour hanging about, and never heard of him, but again, up against the Cincinnati Bengals and their 3rd, give it the 3rd most points to fancy points to tight ends. So, and Cincinnati will be out the middle linebacker Ray Malolaga, I think you pronounce something like that, and the other linebacker Vontaze Burfict as well. He who happens to try and twist people's ankles in the pile-up,
Yeah.
So again, could be struggling over the middle there. So again, tight ends for Jacksonville, Clay Harbour, he might be a man. That's if Blake Bortles can get the ball to him.
I've just had a couple of tweets actually. One from at Toontime88. He says Gio Bernard is out. I've got Hill. Woohoo!
Yep.
And we have one from Will Davis. Says Charles Sims is apparently inactive today. Gio's out.
Right. So Bobby Rain is your man then for Tampa Bay.
Yeah. So those are the 2 tweets that we got whilst you've been on air, Simon. So brilliant.
Oh, well, there you go. See. So you can't. So if all goes wrong, you can't all blame me for this one.
No one blames you. I think it's just got to now like a comedic sort of status, which was never sort of meant, and that sounds bad, but.
I think he's fantastic.
It's good fun. And in all fairness, I was talking to Russell via Facebook the other day, and he was a bit worried about like the fantasy stuff. And I said, look, mate, it's all just like, it's good fun. It's great to have you guys as part of the show and giving the advice. And at the end of the day, everyone's just having a good time and enjoying it. And it's much appreciated from my end, as you know.
Exactly. Yeah, my feelings entirely, Mark. Love doing it. I think it's a real pleasure to do. Real pleasure just to talk football with anybody, So I think it's just about talking football, getting everybody involved, as you say, and hedging your bets a little bit, really, and to see what you can pick up week on week.
Brilliant. Simon, I'm aware that we do have a couple of new listeners today, so they might be unfamiliar with what you guys do. So if you want to give like a quick plug, Twitter and site and that.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. Well, the Twitter account is at Dundee NFL, the only Scottish podcast. Now they're saying this guy doesn't have a Scottish accent, and you'd be absolutely right. I'm sort of myself and Martin are sort of the semi-Scots element. John and Russell were the 2 true Scotsmen involved here, but that's where it sort of originally was founded in Dundee. It's where the guys are based. So I'm based in the northwest in Preston. Sort of only came on board in the last sort of 12 months. But yeah, we're sort of trying to do a podcast every single week, really. So we've done one pretty much every single week for about 3 years now, something like that. Sometimes we miss them. We do apologise to everybody if we can't make it. But we're back on track. We've done 2 in a row now, myself and Russell. We're hoping to get Martin back pretty soon. So anything on there, we usually get some decent guests on as well from time to time. We've had people like Jeff Reinbold, from the Sky Sports on, Ernest Biner, the former Browns, Redskins, Ravens Super Bowl winning running back. So we've had a few decent guests on there, and we're always aiming to get a few more as well for our listeners. So yeah, every week we do that podcast. The email, you can email us with any questions as well. Just by Twitter, you can go in dundeenfl@gmail.com. And the podcast is Fourth Down and Out, which you can pick up via sort of the the internet, our website. Look at Dundee NFL and Fourth Down Now on the website, and you can find us on iTunes as well.
Oh, brilliant. Just as he was plugging away there. Simon, again, fantastic stuff, and the banter, and that is absolutely much appreciated. Sean McGrillen's just checked in on Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. That's my Twitter handle, not Sean's, by the way. That'd be kind of odd if Sean had got the same Twitter handle as me. But hi, Sean. He said, love the fantasy FUDs. We have a phone call. Is this Simon again? Hello?
Hello, it's Simon again.
This is a new record then for us.
I've just rung up. I've just rung up just to say hello and goodbye.
Yeah. All right then, Simon. I think you just about got the last plugs in, but I am Dundee NFL, and yeah, I think that was about it, right? Was it?
Yeah, Dundee NFL. Twitter at Dundee NFL. Email Dundee NFL@gmail.com. The podcast is Fourth Down and Out.
Right. While you're here, I've just had a feedback from Skype. I'm wondering if you could help me out. How would you rate the overall quality of this call? We have excellent, good, fair, poor, or very bad.
Ooh, flipping heck.
Content-wise, excellent. Connection.
Yeah, the connection's pretty good, but when we can hear each other, it's pretty good. But when we can't, it's pretty awful, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Somewhere in between, I would say.
So that'd be fair. Had problems that affected the call. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
There we go. Call quality feedback courtesy of Zone Coverage and Dundee NFL.
And go Browns tonight.
Yeah. Good luck, and let me know how the banter goes between you and Russell. And pass on my best wishes to Martin as well, please.
Will do. Cheers, Mark.
Cheers, Simon, as always. I'll catch you later, mate. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And that is Simon there, bringing you the fantasy advice, as he does every week on the Fantasy 5 at 5 segment. I think I was saying, Sean McGrillen's checked in on Twitter at original_MCG. Love the Fantasy FUDs section. He also tweeted that too at Dundee NFL. I am on the brink of bringing the winner. Yes, that'd be right. On the brink of bringing the winner. Yeah, here we go. I kind of last few minutes of votes. I need to sort of just pan and count these up. I have done a really poor job of things at the moment. Yeah, these are just being favorited and stuff. So, yeah. Right then. I do believe we have a winner. We do have a winner. We do. So, Tom, if you bear with me, you hold fire, sir. I will give you a bell once I have rung the winner here. So I'm just going to quickly run through the fixtures once again. While I total these up, I'm going to attempt multitasking. That is a scary thought, in fairness. So here we go. We have the Bucks and Browns, as Simon just said, face off against each other. Cards and Cowboys. The pause is me counting. Where are we? Cards, Cowboys. Yeah, that was your game on Sky, 6 o'clock tonight. We also have Eagles, Texans, Jets, Chiefs, Jags, Bengals, Chargers, Finns, Redskins, Vikings, Rams, 49ers, Broncos, Pats. There's the Sky game. Voting is done. Voting's done. I will sound the buzzer. Voting over. That's enough of that. That is a brutal noise. Right then. So that is that. Yeah, votes are in. I'm pretty good now. We are up to date with the votes. So I am ringing the winner right now. So if Charlie and Tom could please stand by your phones. Bear with me while I try and get this up and running. This is a seamless show once again today. So here we go. Let's try this. The victor should be here now. Remember, these on our at mentions only. Retweets and stuff do not count, people. I should have mentioned that ages ago. Well, here we go. And whoever the winner is needs to answer the phone, because I'm filling. Here we go. Anyone there? Anyone? I'll have to play the buzzer if no one answers. Hello? No? Do we defer if no one answers? Do we dare defer? Right. I will try once more. I will try once more. If not, I might just have to ring elsewhere. We could have controversy on the first ever show. Oh, not the first ever showing, but our first spot of controversy. Right Right, what else? Tom's coming up in a moment with the latest news from at Huddle Magazine, so please go check out those guys on Twitter there. Keep the tweets and that coming in at Zone Coverage FS to myself. I am not getting an answer from today's winner, which throws the feature completely on its rear end. So, a bridge that I've yet to cross. What to do? I'll tell you what I'll do. What's fair? What would be fair? Charlie won today. No, sorry. Thomas Ritchie won today. My word. And Thomas, I can't get you back on the phone, sir. I really can't. So, Thomas, I've tried to ring you. If you've got something that you need to promote, tweet at me and I will retweet that back to you. I appreciate you being on the show today. But what I will do, I want to touch base with Charlie. So, Charlie, I'm giving you a quick ring, mate. Even though you've not won, I just thought I wanted to check back in with you just to see how you are. In fairness, I reckon we got a lot more we can talk about. No one's answering. Oh dear, this is fallen drastically. Hello.
Booyah!
Hi, Charlie. Have you been listening, sir?
No, I haven't. My kids are on the computer.
Right. Well, this feature's been flipped completely on its head. I was ringing Thomas. Oh, this is going to be awkward. You haven't won, sir, but because I couldn't get Thomas on the line, I thought that I would ring you just to promote anything you wanted and to, again, say thank you. I wanted to touch base and learn more about yourself and your journey over from Boston to the UK.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know it's a bizarre twist and it's not very professional my end and stuff, so I don't know if you can just fire away. And whereabouts did you say you were in the country again?
I'm in Ilford, Essex, East London.
Oh, Essex, yeah. Have you always been there since you've jumped over then?
Yeah. I came over here for the first time when I was 15 and moved over here many, many years later.
Oh, cool.
So been living here 21 years in April.
So you mentioned the weather and that. What sort of good things? Do you know any of the Cockney slang yet then?
I'm sorry, do I?
The Cockney rhyming slang. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, that's all my area. So I was thrown in the deep end.
What was that like when you first heard that? Then was it like what are you on?
Actually funny. It wasn't that was difficult. The funny thing was when I first moved here, my wife would watch Coronation Street, and I had to watch it with subtitles because I couldn't understand a word they were saying.
Oh, brilliant! I feel for you having to suffer that.
Yeah, I know, it was pretty bad. Thank God she doesn't watch it anymore, but still, it was very interesting at the time.
Yeah, imagine you've come over, you've got the weather's awful, and then you're watching Coronation Street, it's bad, and then in subtitles, that's borderline torture.
Oh yeah, that's better than a kick in the nuts. Yeah. What can you do?
This is it. So, you said that you get to go back over to Boston regularly, or the rest of your family over there in Boston still?
Yeah, my whole family's in New England, so not just Boston, but they're in Rhode Island, Connecticut, all over the place. But when you realize that the area of New England is like from London to Manchester, so
right,
you can drive it in a day. I did last time I drove home from a friend's house. I did 5 states in 4 hours.
Wow.
So, yeah, you do quite a bit. So who do you support? What team do you support?
Oh, I'm surprised that this didn't get touched on earlier, the Jets.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so do you think Ryan's going to get sacked after tonight?
After tonight, no, end of the year. Buddy's already said that it'll be the end of the year, or words to that effect. He said he's not willing to chop anyone at the midway through the season point, so.
Right.
But
no, it'll be. I know a lot of people that are Jets fans, and it's just been unbelievable for the abuse I've been able to give this year.
Oh, I can imagine
the
best
part is seeing both Ryan brothers crying, so that's always a good thing.
Yes, Bad Santa is that brilliant defense that he built up at the Saints is sort of gone a little south, hasn't it? In fairness.
Yeah, that's it's an understatement.
Yeah.
But yeah. The Jets were good, but when was the last time they won a Super Bowl? 69?
Oh, before my time, yeah.
Yeah, when Joe Namath was playing.
Yeah.
69. That was the last time they won a Super Bowl. And they're also tied for the ugliest uniforms in the NFL.
Ugliest? With who? Who else?
Oh, Buffaloes are hideous.
See,
Buffalo and the Jets are hideous uniforms.
So the throwbacks for the Bills I like, with the Buffalo actually on the helmet. That's cool. The old
I liked all the throwback. The worst throwback is Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they were playing that last week.
That strike thing.
Yeah, that's it's a bit much.
I was like, they'd have to get me kicking and screaming to put that on. No way would I put that on.
Oh, that's brilliant. Right then, Charlie, I'm coming towards the end of the show. I just wanted to touch base again and just say thanks for wanting to come on the show and being involved.
You've gained a listener. I will tune in on Sundays.
Excellent. And don't be a stranger. Feel free to call back, as I could talk to you all day. I'm intrigued about you moving over, and obviously with the Jets, Pat's rival, I think that could be something we could have some good fun with.
Yeah. Definitely. We play each other in a few weeks' time, so definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely sort some.
You've got my contacts.
Yeah, I'll sort something out going forward. And again, enjoy your day and good. This is going to kill me, but good luck today. All right,
I tweeted to you.
Sorry,
I sent you a direct message on Twitter with a picture of what it's like at Foxborough right now.
Yeah, brilliant. I'll get that out there for everyone to see. I appreciate that, mate, and thanks again, Charlie.
All right, matey. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, then. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And that was Charlie. Even though he didn't win today, I thought I'd give him a bell. I just wanted to touch base again, basically. And Thomas did try and ring me, so I'm going to try and give Thomas a quick ring back. We're going to go over today on the show, which is not good because I've got dinner in the oven. My wife's going to kill me. Oh, Thomas. He didn't answer, sir. Thomas, if you are listening, you did win. I am
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
Shall we leave him a message?
Please leave a message
after the tone. Here we go. Thomas, this is Mark from Zone Coverage Football Show. First time ever I am leaving you a message. Sir, you won today. Congratulations. Sorry I missed your call back. Thanks for coming on the show. Give me a tweet, mate. And again, thanks for coming on. You won the voters' hearts, and you're victorious. I have no prizes and stuff to give out. Just rock round school tomorrow with a great sense of pride. And thanks for coming on, mate. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. Right then, so that is a message left for Thomas, and we best get to Tom. Tom from Huddle Magazine, right. As we delve deep into, it's like injury time, I suppose. Stoppage time at the end of the show with Tom. Tom, we're going to have to make this snappy. I've got some form of meat in the oven, and I can't find your contact. Here we go. Tom, call phone. It's offline. Oh my God. What a day we are having on the Zone Coverage Football Show. Can we try this one? Tom. Please answer, Tom. Dig me out of a hole. Here we go. No, nothing. Damn it. I might just jump to Twitter and then shut this down. Oh dear.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep.
Right then, that is that. Oh, we have a phone call. Hello.
Hi Mark, it's Tom.
Hi Tom. I was trying you on Skype and all sorts of madness is going on my end.
Yeah, mate. I'm currently on a train, so I'm offline at the moment. So I'm just getting to you on my mobile.
All right, cool. Right,
well, I'm going to have to bullet fire through this because obviously I don't want to lose my signal on you. So do you want me to dive straight in?
Go for it, sir. I'll give you the floor, and then if you go, don't worry.
Okay, Arizona at Dallas. Obviously, we know that Tony Romo won't play tonight. Apparently, according to Ian Rappaport of NFL Network, he called in and said that he wouldn't be involved in the game last night. So Brandon Weeden will start, and Weeden said that he feels good and is ready to go. In terms of protecting Weeden, offensive linemen Doug Freed and Ron Laurie are inactive, and Jason Witten could be used more as a blocker in the game to compensate and give him a little bit more pass protection. Philadelphia at Houston, Darren Sproles is expected to return. He will not be limited in play today, and he was close to playing last week against Arizona. Whilst Houston report that the Texans want Jadeveon Clowney to grow up and be more mature, he may be sidelined today with an illness, and after weeks out due to surgery, the organisation are apparently becoming frustrated with him. So that's quite an interesting one, Mark?
Yeah, there's a lot of rumblings going on about a variety of players of late, isn't there?
Yeah, this is it. I mean, in the Bucks game, Bucks running back Charles Sims will not play today. He was activated off IR, but they say they may hold him out to give him a little bit more time. Marcus Thigpen's likely to carry behind Bobby Rainey. And Jordan Cameron has been ruled out, and that's due to his concussion. He may also miss next week's game as well. Cincinnati, AJ Green will play today after missing 3 games with a toe injury. He's listed as questionable and been limited in practice all week, but that's kind of the process that because he's been limited, he's listed as questionable today. I did hear you ask for a status update on Giovanni Bernard. He's ruled out of today's game, and Jeremy Hill will replace him as a starter, but I don't know whether people have tweeted into you and confirmed that anyway.
Yeah, that's been confirmed a few times now. Well, I appreciate that, buddy.
Okay, San Francisco 49ers, Alden Smith will not be back today despite reports that he might return. And in New England, the weather's having a big impact on what's going to happen there. Bill Belichick says that the weather forecasters are absolutely rubbish and always get it wrong. It's blizzard conditions right now in Foxborough. And in terms of the field has been uncovered. So the long and short of that is that the surface being a synthetic surface is likely to be very slippery. So there could be some interesting plays in that game as the train guard comments behind me on what he's got to do. You still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah. So that's everything that I've got news-wise in terms of today's game. So that's my roundup. Just a shout out to everyone to go over to huddlemagazine.com, where our latest issue out, which ahead of next week's game, is a Jaguars Cowboys feature. It's one issue covering both teams, feature and rookie profile from both teams. £2.99. Get on the website, get it downloaded.
Brilliant stuff. So head over to huddlemagazine.com and at huddlemagazine on Twitter then.
Exactly. I mean, I won't any of the early games, but I'm hoping to be at my destination for the late ones. So if you hit us on Twitter, I should have a little bit of a chat by then. I should be sat back chilling out, having a beer at home by that stage.
Brilliant. I will drop you a text as well as we go forward, Tom.
Okay, mate. I will catch you later, but I'm going to sign off now before I lose my signal and throw you into all sorts of disarray.
Oh, mate, it can't get any worse than it has been today.
I've been listening on and off, obviously, as signals permitted, and things have gone well apart from not being able to phone the winner back.
I know.
What's that all about? If you won, you'd be right next to your phone, wouldn't you?
Well, he has messaged me. He said that for some bizarre reason he was waiting. It just wasn't registering. So it's Skype. It's a bit temperamental at times. So
yeah, it can be. It can be a nightmare. But
yeah.
I'll bid you adieu, and as I say, I'll catch you later, and I'll hopefully speak to you a little bit once I reach somewhere that's got a better signal than I've got now.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Have a safe journey, mate, and I'll speak to you as we go forward.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Tom. Take care, buddy. Bye. And that was Tom from at Huddle Magazine. As he did say, special mag coming out next week for the final international series game, Jags Cowboys. So go over to huddlemagazine.com, at Huddle Magazine on Twitter. Also our fellow helpers and all-round good guys over at Dundee NFL. Check out their podcast, Fourth Down and Out. As well, still got half an hour, get some fancy advice over to them. Just tweet them as well. Great bunch of lads, Browns and Bucks and a 49ers fan as well that put that together every week. Excellent show. So please just keep that going as well. Before I wrap this up then, the number for next week, 0161 818 4593. A heads up as well, I am not here next Sunday. Cue a chorus of boos. Well, that's probably wishful thinking my end, as I am once again in London for the game. I am looking to do a show on Saturday afternoon. So we were looking at a live show Saturday afternoon, around about 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. So you're still going to get a live show, it's going to be a day earlier. I was trying to sort out an interview and maybe drop that as a show on the Sunday, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So live show next Saturday from 1. Keep an eye out on the Twitter, Zone Coverage FS. Email me, zonecoveragefoootballshow@mail.com if you've got any thoughts on the show, any ideas, etc., etc. iTunes, Stitcher, ratings, reviews, always appreciated, be good or bad. And that just about wraps it up, really. Keep spreading the word, how to listen live, tune in app, Spreaker app. Is that it? Somehow I've battled through. We battled through technology. Again, massive thank you to Thomas Ritchie and Charlie Andrews for coming on the show and the Fan versus Fan segment today. Again, if you want to register your interest on that, feel free to do that. I am off to rescue my dinner from the oven before that starts smoking. Again, huge thank you to everyone that's tweeted me today, everyone that's spread the word over the course of not only this week, but the past 14 weeks. And going forward, it's very, very much appreciated. And thank you guys very much. You're awesome. So until next Saturday, that is next Saturday, take care, be well, be safe wherever you are, especially now these dark nights are upon us. So until next week, remember, hustle, hit, and never quit.
Thank you for tuning in to today's show. Unable to listen live? We've got that covered. Simply search the Zone Coverage Football Show in either iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And don't forget to subscribe. All our shows and details on how to call into the show can be found on the website www.zonecoveragefootballshow.com.